that have bullied and bribed, ye who have tortured and broken, tyrants, hypocrites, liars, free Palestine. Thank you all for being here. And on behalf of all of us, I would like to say thank you, South Africa. And I would like, in the spirit of all those who gave and fought and lost and won to end apartheid, to end the corrupt state of an apartheid South Africa, endured and gave their lives. Steve Biko, Mandela, millions of others. Madiba, your children have done you proud. I don't want to repeat what has been said on the platform, what has been said week in, week out. We say it, we know it, we repeat it. But right there, in the seat of world judicial power, never more eloquently has truth been spoken to power than the South African legal team spoke before the International Court of Justice. If the International Court of Justice cannot protect the children, the babies, the men, the women, the old, the young, those who are ill, infirm, living with disability, those being killed by the hour by the State of Israel, then it would need to go, because there is no legal protection left for people oppressed against oppressive states. There is no legal option left for any of us if the court does not have the courage to call genocide for what it is. And if the member states who have signed the United Nations Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, including Ireland, including the United States of America, including all the states of the European Union, and the United Kingdom, no longer in it, nobody really misses them. Couldn't miss the opportunity tonight. But all those states are members of the United Nations. And if they cannot take peaceful economic sanctions against the State of Israel to prevent further genocide, further war, further bloodshed, then what is the point of the United Nations? And if we have no United Nations, and no United Nations Charter of Human Rights, and no World Court of the United Nations, what will save us from the next World War? What will save us from the next genocide? What will save us from the rise of fascism across the globe, which we are facing? And Israel is the tip of the iceberg. Let me tell you, this is not This is not Germany of the 1930s. This is the seminal battle against fascism that was lost in Spain. Because if we had won, if those who had stood against fascism when it raised its head in good old Catholic Spain, Germany and Hitler would never have been able to get as far as he did. Never. And if Israel is not stopped, now, how will we stop the next one? That's the question Leo Varadkar, Micheál Martin, and Mary Lou McDonald has to answer. Because she is a government in waiting. And we all know that. So Mary Lou needs to stand up to the plate now, not after we have voted for it. Not after. We have too often used our democratic right, believed what people told us all over the world, to find governments that lied to us once they were elected. So we need to see action now from those who would be government and would be bringing change. Because Palestine is a litmus test of our humanity. It is a litmus test of our conscience, and it is a litmus test of our politics. There are some things that aren't hard to ask for. Joe Biden is an enabler of genocide. Joe Biden overrides what democratic processes exist in the United States to personally sign off billions of dollars for the purpose of genocide in Gaza. Who in their right mind and conscience on the National Day of a country that freed itself from oppression would go to America and hand the bastard a bunch of fucking children? And jolly in the United States, it's not much to ask. I'm going to tell you something else. Nobody standing here, nobody belonging to anybody standing here, nobody that has any influence over anybody that you know should give a single preference vote to any individual politician whose backside is in Washington. No one. Not those in government and not those looking into it. And then there are other things we need to be doing. Everybody in front of me needs to determine specifically what it is you can do about the boycott. I'm not asking anybody to boycott everything, although it will help some of us to straighten their backs a bit. But we're not going to shaming ourselves here. But everybody can do something, and you can determine what it is. I have small grandchildren who don't eat, never eat a McDonald's a day. weaned off Coca-Cola, never drink it again. I have a beloved sister with a learning disability, and the joy of her Saturday was Marks and Spencer's Cafe. And she just before Gaza said, we can't go back again. So, everybody can do something. Because there are those of us, I am not ashamed to say, I'm over 75. I'm over 50 years. 50 years. Standing, 50 years, standing on platforms supporting Palestine. 50 years. It shouldn't have to be like that. But I will tell you this, again about this conflict. My generation knows what oppression was like. My generation, and I see some northerners here, my generation, we know what it was like to be defined as a terrorist community. We know what it was like for a whole community to be defined as guilty, and the only thing to be determined was specifically what we'd be punished for. And when something couldn't be thought of, we just all got punished anyway for opening our mouths or banging windows. Nothing that compares with what the people of Gaza have to endure. But the generations before us on this side of the border know what it was like to be an oppressed nation. How could Micheál Martin forget? How could Leo Varadkar forget? How can anybody forget the history of this country? When the War of Independence was fought here, it wasn't a lawful war. It would have been very, very difficult had somebody gone while the black and tans were on the rampage here to protect us, and the United Nations Court had only existed, to have argued that we had any standing as a state. We didn't. And no doubt those who are opposed to us will say they didn't mention Hamas. We're just the head all out. I'm going to mention Hamas. I'm going to mention Hezbollah. I'm going to mention Houthis. And I'm going to tell you this, that the people define them. You know, every time I turn on the news, we talk about the Iran-backed terrorist organisation, the Houthis. A UK defined terrorist organisation. They said every time it's Hamas. Hamas, defined in the United Kingdom as a terrorist organisation. And then they go on to Hezbollah. Hezbollah, backed by Iran, supporting Hamas, and also defined by the UK as a terrorist organisation. Fianna Fáil used to be a friggin' terrorist organisation. Used to be a terrorist organization. Sinn Féin used to be a terrorist organization. The United States of America was founded by people that the UK called terrorists. The French Republic was formed by people who were called terrorists. You've got to stop this nonsense. It is not those who inflict the most, but those who can endure the most and still resist who will triumph. I wish I had thought of that, as Oscar Wilde might have said. And somebody said, you will, Oscar, you will. It wasn't me said that. It was the Sinn Féin mayor of Cork when he died of hunger. So I say to the people of Palestine, we stand with you. As long as you endure and resist, we will endure and resist with you. And I say, as Padre Pierce said to the state of Israel, and I say it to the government of Ireland, did you think to conquer the people? Did you think that your law was stronger than life and people's desire to be free? No. We will have it out with you. Ye that have bullied and bribed, ye who have tortured and broken, tyrants, hypocrites, liars, free Palestine.